All right, here we go. I guess I can turn the screen off behind me there. All right, so here we are, February 23rd. Those of you that got on early, you might have caught some of the entertainment going on board here. Not like the home office, I'll tell you that. But anyway, I've got some feedback from a lot of the new people that say they're pretty much overwhelmed with our material here, which I can see, a lot of you guys are coming in fresh. The whole idea of the ACT program in general and the whole Internet Dominator group and community, everybody starts there. We all have to start somewhere. So I don't want any of you guys to feel overwhelmed. If you're feeling overwhelmed, the first thing to do is really to identify that, like, what is it you're overwhelmed by? And really kind of break it down. It's kind of like, it is overwhelming. If you're not used to business and you're just coming into it for the first time, it would be like, oh my God, there's so much stuff to consider. There's so many moving parts to a business. It seems like second nature to me because I've been doing it since I was a kid. So it's layer upon layer upon layer. So it's not overwhelming at all to me. But I could totally get where, what it would look like from your shoes if you're just getting started. The thing is, that's what this group is for. You're not alone. I can't even imagine getting dropped into this tank and being alone, trying to swim in this rough water. I can't even imagine it. So I totally get it, but I don't want anyone to feel like they're going to get left behind, because there's no one I will leave behind as long as you're willing to put in the effort. But if you are just getting into it, I really would recommend taking some time. You're going to have to dedicate some time if you want to build a business. If you want a successful business, you're going to have to dedicate some time to it. If you're just really good at your skill set, it might not be like, you might decide you're just really good at something and you might be better off teaming up with someone. Teaming up with maybe another business owner that's good at business and not as good at your skill set. So there's a lot of ways to go, a lot of different ways to skin the cat. So I just want you guys to consider there are always options for success. Myself personally, I don't really like business partners. I've tried that several times. Never really works out too well for me, but maybe I'm a control freak. I don't know. So anyway, you guys have questions? If you are feeling overwhelmed, please let me know where, so we can smooth the water for you, because that's what I'm here for. I am here. I'm your bulldozer to move the mountains for you. All right, Helene, go ahead. Unmute.
Sorry, I was thinking of getting Kartra, because but I was wondering, like I have a really complicated situation where my business is not just in the US, it's also in Canada. And so right now I've got two programs, one for the US and one for Canada. If I had Kartra, would I be able to have those two businesses in the same place? Because I have to use different tubes and so on in each country. So, and that's my first question. My second question is, I've got WordPress, and how do I transfer my Kartra website to my WordPress website to a Kartra website, which is WordPress. Is that possible? And once I'm in Kartra, will I be able to change my WordPress website the way, or do I have to go?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see here. I'm going to mute Woody out there. We're getting a vibration from.
Yeah.
Woody, normally we like your vibes, but we'll come back to that. So, Helene, okay, so Kartra, for those of you that don't know, Kartra is an automation tool. It builds web pages, it builds opt-in forms, it creates databases, it does auto follow-up sequences. It does all the back-end stuff to automate your business. It'll do your product sales, your checkout forms, all that stuff. It is a phenomenal program. I've been using it for years. You can use Kartra for multiple businesses. One Kartra account, you can create multiple businesses in there. It depends on which level of Kartra that you have. If you have the starter program, you can do, I think you could probably do 2 businesses in there in the starter program. And then if you want to go up to the silver, then I'm on silver myself, and I run probably 5 businesses out of my one Kartra account. They're all similar related businesses. It's all my internet stuff. But yeah, you can do that. Now, as far as how Kartra integrates into a WordPress site, WordPress is like your normal website. It's the front end. So nothing really would change about that. The way you would integrate it is by putting Kartra buttons inside your WordPress site. And you can do that with simple embeds. So you can just embed a button right onto your WordPress page. And then when they click the button, and that button could be opt-in for something. That button could be click here to purchase this product. That button could be click here to take a survey. It could be click here to schedule an appointment. Kartra does all that back end stuff. It eliminates the need for all kinds of different tools. Like I used to have probably 10 different tools that I paid for every month, and I had them all duct taped together to do what I wanted to do. And I was probably paying about 6 or 7, maybe upwards of $800 a month for all these different tools. None of them really worked together. They were all independent. So I had all these different systems all over the place. And when I got Kartra, it was a little bit of a pain to migrate all my stuff into Kartra. But once it was in there, oh my God, I got rid of, I lowered my overhead by about $700 a month, which is awesome. But I had everything under one hood. It all worked together. So it was, it's a great thing. Many of you aren't ready for that yet. If you're just getting started, this is a conversation for, probably a few months down the road. But it's good for you to hear it. That's the thing. You guys, if you're in the very starter position here, you're going to be hearing things on the call here that will be in your future. It might seem like it's overwhelming, but you need to know what's ahead. You always need to know what's on the road ahead. So don't think that you have to do everything at once.
Will Kartra replace WooCommerce?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And in a much better way too, because WooCommerce, it's a great shopping cart, but it's not a follow-up system. You have to connect that to another database to do your follow-up. And that's what I was talking about. You have to duct tape a bunch of stuff together, or other plugins. And in WordPress, you could get a ton of plugins in there. And then all of a sudden there's a WordPress update, and now one of your plugins isn't compatible. Now your whole system falls apart. You never have any of those kind of issues with Kartra.
How easy would it be to redo my website in Kartra?
You could do that. I wouldn't necessarily recommend building your entire website in Kartra, although you could. I actually did it myself. When I first got Kartra, I thought, oh yeah, I'm going to get rid of even WordPress. I'm going to just build the whole site. But what I found, there's a lot of flexibility and stuff in WordPress that you're not going to get in Kartra as far as the front end of your website. The back end of your website, it's 100%. I don't use any other programs for the back end. But on the front end, I think WordPress is probably your best, easiest, most friendly solution, especially if you're going to do your own editing. It's really, really a cool combination of WordPress and Kartra.
You're telling me I have to learn WordPress.
You know what? WordPress on its own, I don't really like, but I have a whole web development team, and they have built websites for all my clients, and they've built them for a lot of the ACT people too. And what I have them do is I have them build the WordPress in a thing called Beaver Builder, which makes it completely drag and drop. It makes it so easy to edit your own stuff, it's ridiculous. It's like if you can use Word for Windows, then you can use Beaver Builder to play around with your website.
Yeah, but how much would that cost me?
My team can build almost any site you want for $1,000.
Really?
So it's not a crazy amount. You know, you can go to a lot of web developers, and they're going to charge you $2,500 and up, but it shouldn't cost that much. I mean, my team has been doing this for me for decades. They've got it pretty wired.
Except I've got a 25-page website.
That's fine. That doesn't matter.
No?
No problem.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's no problem at all. My guys are very efficient.
Well, thanks a lot for the information and the sales, John.
Sure, no problem. All right, Russ.
Hey, John, how you doing, buddy?
Good. How goes? I bet you have a Kartra question too, don't you?
I do. So my first Kartra question is, you mentioned that you can use Kartra Mail or SendGrid, and you can use them. If you use Kartra Mail, is your email Kartra, like john@kartra.com?
No, when you use Kartra Mail is just a gateway to move the mail. You still use your regular email address. One thing about it, it does not allow you to use a free email address. So like you can't use a Gmail account or a Yahoo account or anything like that. But like I use my john@internetdominators.com. And so any domain that you own, you can use the email in there. One thing, if you're going to use Kartra email, if you're going to use their email service, they're very, very stringent on the spam rules. So you don't want to import lists. Everybody I have told not to do this, and they did it anyway, they got banned. Everyone, without exception. You don't want to import lists into Kartra that are cold lists and send email to them. If you get complaints, or if you have a high bounce rate, or if you're sending to a bunch of emails that are no good, they're going to shut that account down. You will get to do that one time, and that's it. So you got to really, really be careful. You know, you have to treat their email gateway with much respect, and you'll get to use it forever. But as soon as you abuse it, that'll be the end of the show.
So people that you send emails to from Kartra, using Kartra email, it comes from john@internetdominators.com, and people would never know where it's coming from.
Correct. Yeah, down at the very bottom of the email, it does say powered by Kartra.
Oh, it does, and you can't get rid of that?
I don't believe so. It never really bothered me. It's
Okay.
It's like if you have a MailChimp or any kind of email service, they usually put that stamp at the bottom.
So you also use SendGrid, right? SendGrid's a little bit more forgiving.
Yes, it's much more forgiving. SendGrid is made for sending bulk email. So like, for instance, the reason that I got SendGrid, I have 2 mail gateways that I use inside Kartra. All of my auto responses, all of the communication in that I go and do inside Kartra is all done with the Kartra mailer. If I'm going to, like, let's say I've got a list in Kartra that I've collected over the last several years, and I want to send out a bulk promotion to the list, I would use SendGrid for that. That's why I connected SendGrid.
And when you send the email, you pick between 2 gateways?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you can set, like I have Kartra as my default gateway. So I just make sure if I'm going to go in and I'm going to do a mass send out to a bulk list, I switch it over and I use SendGrid. Because I don't want to get my Kartra email shut down. It's awesome. I love it.
Sounds easy that way, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And SendGrid, you know, I don't think SendGrid's much. I think it's like $10 a month or something.
Yeah.
You can send a lot of mail through it.
Yeah, it's pretty inexpensive. My second question is with the Kartra pages. I'm having difficulty creating a page from scratch. So the page that I'm trying to create is similar to your bonuses page in your Kartra system, where you just have text, an image, some text, some links, some videos, you know, all kind of random things.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be possible to show the layout of that page and how that gets created?
Sure. In fact, I'll show you. I'm actually working on a page right now.
Oh, okay.
And I'll show you basically what I did, how I did it. Now, hopefully Zoom doesn't kick me off when I go to screen share here. If it does, I'll be right back. So it's been doing
the
that
images,
lately.
do they have to be a specific size, or can you crop images or do any kind of manipulation in there? Like, does
it doesn't have, in Kartra, it doesn't have cropping, so to speak, but it does have image sizing. So if your image is bigger, you could shrink it. You know, you can shrink it to fit. But you do need, like, you would need to crop it and do your color enhancement, any editing to the image first.
Okay.
All right, let me do screen share. Hopefully I'll be able to stick with you. All right. Looks like we're good so far.
So far, so good.
So what I did, I'm setting up a private consulting page where a lot of people have been wanting to do private consulting with me lately. So I'm setting up, and what I did, I created one called Private Consulting and one called Consulting Thank You. And you notice they're the same because once I got this one set, I just cloned and copied this one. And then I'm just going to take the pricing off and it'll just be the generic thank you page. So when they get there, it'll just say, you know, thank you for your order. Here's the link to the scheduler. Let's go ahead and schedule your consult. But here, I'll go in and edit this guy so you can see. So when you hit edit, it gives you a chance to change the page or the category or the site that it's connected to. I'm just going to hit edit here. And this isn't done by any means. I haven't even started to edit this. I just framed it. So it's all just generic info. So it's basically plans and pricing. And then there's 3 boxes there. Now, where I got those boxes, I didn't build these boxes. I went over to components and I went down. Let's see, where is it?
Boxes?
No, I went to, oh, I know what I did. I went to sections. It wasn't boxes, it was sections. So sections is like pre-built stuff that you can just slide in. So I went to pricing tables. And then in pricing tables, you've got all these different things. All of these are all templates that you could just slide in. Like you could say, wow, you know, I like that one. That's my color scheme. You just grab it, slide it over and drop it in. And then there it is. Then you can just edit it.
Yeah.
So notice it put it above mine. So I don't really want that. So I'm like, this is the cool part. You can drag it in and see if you like it. I'm like, nah, I don't like that one. I'm gonna delete that one.
So when I drag stuff over, it says drop, drop, drop in a bunch of different spots. Is that because I'm in columns mode, not components mode?
No, what you saw me do was in sections. So if you're in components, and components is different. Components is just single pieces. Like let's say I wanted to drag text in. This is where it's going to tell you, where do you want to drop it?
Oh, okay.
So that's a component. So when you do sections, you're actually putting an entire section in that's all pre-formatted. There's a ton of pre-formatted sections. You could build almost anything you want out of their sections center here.
Okay.
Like if you went to sections, you could put an empty section and then build your own. You could put headers, and you can save your own headers. Like these are my custom headers that I saved. But there's headers, there's all kinds of pre-formatted headers. Let's see. This is called hero section. What a hero section is, this is above the fold. We talked a lot about this last week when we did some website reviews, and this is above the fold stuff. So this is examples of like perfect layouts to plug in a big idea and a call to action. So that's what they call it hero section. I just call it above the fold because that's pretty much what it is. It's the above the fold section. But they've got, a ton of them in here. Here's one for a video. If you have a video you want to put in there.
And all those images that they have in those templates, are they customizable, or can you use those images?
You can use them or you can change them. Like, let's say we wanted to slide this one in. And drop that section in. Now, if I wanted to change this image, I just hit the little edit button. I go to the image tab. I select an image, and I could put my Elvis image in there. You have to hit apply, and there he is.
So what if that image didn't fit in there properly, it would just kind of make it work anyway?
Yeah, it would fit it in.
Okay.
Now, one thing, like when you use the pre-formatted stuff, I have found that a lot of times they hard code it so you can't mess it up. Like let's say on this image, let's put something like I'll use this. This is a funky shaped image. See, it fit it in there and it just cropped it. So there's no way to change the dimension of this. It's just going to fit it.
It seems like the image blocks are typically square.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, there's not much way. Like I said, sometimes when you're using their templates on stuff, there's things that normally you could adjust, but here you can't.
Okay.
But if you wanted to put in like let's say we wanted to put in a section and we just wanted an empty section.
That's what I did. I put an empty section in and I tried to put my own image in there, and I had a heck of a time.
Okay, to me, this is really easy to do your own. Yep. Then you come over to components, and the first thing you do is you have to put columns in. So let's say I wanted three columns. So I'd drop my 3 columns in there. Then I'd go back over to components, and let's say I want an image in the middle box. So I'm going to drop the image in there. I'm going to drop text in the other 2 boxes. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the image. I'm going to edit it. Let's select the image. We'll take Elvis again. Update him. Now see how it has a lot more control up here? If I want to resize, I can resize it right here on the fly.
Oh, okay.
And then under style, I can center it. So if you do it yourself, you have a lot more flexibility.
My problem when I did it, that symbol that you had there before you dropped the image in, I had that, I dropped an image in, and it looked like my image went behind that bookmark blank symbol that was there.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. You can also move, like if you want this image over here, you can drag it over there.
Okay.
Then you can resize it. And then you could put something else over here.
Okay, so once it's on the page, you can drag it around and move it. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, like let's say you wanted a survey or a countdown timer or a video. You know, we could pop a video in here. And then all we have to do is select the video. So you can, if it's a YouTube, you just paste the YouTube URL in there, super easy. If it's a Kartra video, Kartra hosts videos for you. So I'll just grab one here. Okay. And then if you want to change the column sizes, you have to go up here to columns because we're in the component mode right now. So you go to columns and now this changes things. Now you can change the width of the columns. So I could make these two columns smaller. Notice it just resized the image, no problem. And I can make my video bigger. So again, if you build the thing yourself, it's totally editable. If you drag in like a hero section, it's going to be pre-formatted and it's going to have limitations on what you can edit. It'll save you a ton of time if you can find a template that's in there and just drag it in, you know, like what I did here. This is going to save me a ton of time because I'm just going to drop my stuff in there and be done with it. I'm not going to want to edit this much. It's just fine. But if you want to have total control, just drop in a blank section, put in the number of columns you want, and then just start dragging your stuff in there and you can edit the heck out of it.
Sounds good. You make it look so easy.
Again, this is layers of knowledge of using this thing for years.
Yeah.
There's not much in here that I haven't fiddled around with.
I started watching your video that you have on your site about Kartra, and I noticed that they must have changed the navigation around.
Yeah, they have updated some stuff.
It used to be called campaigns. Now it's called communication, all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So now that I've thoroughly messed my page up here.
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm going to show you how easy it is to fix it. I just go over here, I delete that section out, and now it's gone. And now I delete that section out, and it's gone. And I'm right back where I started.
Okay, perfect.
So you can play as long as you're playing in sections. If you get a section all jacked up and you say, oh, no, that's not what I wanted, just throw it away.
Okay.
And then just go back over and grab a new section.
Great.
You know, like if you want download boxes, there's a big image section. There's all kinds of formats. I've found that, you know, in most cases I can find, if I wanted to just do a quick and dirty site, I can just find the pieces I want, drag them in and edit them. It's a piece of cake. So
I'm trying to build a resource page that has like 20 links of documents that people can download. I didn't see a section for that, but I'm sure there might be.
Okay, so that would be lists.
Oh, this.
Oh, and then the other thing I wanted to show you, like, let's say, see how they've got 3 here? If you said, hey, you know, that's great, I like that. I'm gonna drag that in here. Let's see. That's actually a component. So you could drag that in, and let's drop it right there. So there's your list, right? So if you want more, let's say you wanted 6 instead of 3, you just hit the clone. Now you got 6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you only wanted 5, then you come in here and you delete one of the sections out.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Good.
So you just start canceling stuff out. Now we're back to 3.
Okay.
So
All right, great.
there's a ton of stuff in here that you can literally just clone, copy. Like I'm going to want 6 of these. I know for sure I'm going to want 6 of these boxes. So I can just click that 3 times, and now I got 6.
Oh, there you go.
And now all I have to do is just edit each box, hook up my buttons, and away I go. I have a full page that people can order consulting.
Okay.
So
All right, sounds good.
pretty cool stuff.
Yep.
So Kartra is awesome. It's really cool. In the beginning, a lot of people had trouble getting support from Kartra because they've got email support. I have worked with them a lot to help them iron out bugs and get stuff, and I'm now on their advisory board. So I can get very quick responses in there when something goes wrong. So it's that's a good thing to have.
Yep. All right, thanks for your help there, buddy. I'll let somebody else take a turn.
No problem. All right, Ahmed.
Boy, mine seems simple now.
No worries. There's
No,
no
but there's no. Go ahead.
I was just going to say there's no bad questions here.
No, there is no bad question. My name is Ahmed. I'm the real estate guru with the big heart, and I just joined the group. And thank you for the meeting the other day. Went through a lot of the act already. I found my challenge is that I haven't defined my avatar really well to serve, because I have such a broad knowledge of 32 years that I kept thinking I could serve everybody, but it turned out I'm not serving as many of them as I thought I would be, even though I share stages with people like Jack Canfield and Bob Proctor.
Sure.
And yet I wasn't getting the clients from my sale presentations that I hoped it would. And the more I thought about it, and finally narrowed down to the fact my avatar. Well, my challenge is, how do I do the research on the avatar piece to determine who is my right client?
Okay, gotcha. That's a simple question with a very complex answer.
True.
There's no real right or wrong answer to that, of who is going to be your perfect customer. There's 2 ways to look at it, and you have to kind of balance these 2. And the one thing that's important is you have to make sure that they're going to be profitable. You don't want to take on a bunch of customers where you're going to be really busy and not make any money, because that's not going to work for you. So you have to be careful there. So that's a balance beam there. And then the other thing is there's customers out there that are going to be a nightmare to work with. So you don't want to take them on either.
Right.
So it's a balance of who makes you happy to work with, who's going to enhance your life, and who is going to pay for it. So when you're thinking about it, like you said, you had a lot of experience in the business. You can kind of think back over your career and you say, who was it that, was a joy to work with? And I made a good amount of money from working with them, and I would love to have 10 more of them or 100 more of them or whatever. And in that case, when you have that kind of experience under your belt, that might be all the research that you need. Yeah,
Okay.
that's from the aspect of who do you want to work with and making sure they're profitable. There's the other thing of you have to verify that the segment of your market is viable. I have a specific lesson I talk about where I talk about market segmentation before you even get to the avatar.
Right.
You have to make sure you have those three pieces in place, that there's a big enough market, this market segment's big enough. There's enough people to justify your sales goals. If it's too small, you're going to struggle. There has to be enough people that fit this profile that are in this bucket. So that's one thing. The next thing is what you're going to solve for them has to have enough value that they're going to be willing to pay you for it. And the other thing is they're going to have the ability to pay you. They have to literally be able to afford it. So those are going to be your three challenges on finding a proper segment to work with. So if you've got the segment figured out, if you've got one and you check all three boxes and you say, I'm good here, now you dip into that segment. Now you're trying to identify who's the one you want to attract out of there the most. That's going to be your avatar.
I see. And I did some of that homework on that, actually, using my common sense and previous history. I'm going to qualify it. I do have customers that are one-on-one coaching that I have, and I have had some for the last few years, but I'm trying to create more of an ongoing group that comes in a smaller dollar value.
Sure.
That can learn the real estate aspect of investing. And I finally came to the conclusion that the market does not have many women in real estate investing. And I've been researching that for the last 3-4 years. And the more it's increasing to up to 25% of the segment of investors, but not high enough still. So I figured I want to target that particular group that are in the 35 years of age, that their family is about $100,000 to $200,000 range of income between her and husband, etc. So I did a lot of that. So now the question is to do the research on that, and based on what I watched from the videos, you're saying do the Facebook Insight, do the Google searches to find out which of these categories are a big enough market that I can tap into.
Yeah, another tool that's just recently become available, this just got released in November, is that ChatGPT software.
Right.
And that has some phenomenal data in it. You can ask it literally anything.
I also capitalize on learning about that, and it says I don't have enough data out there to differentiate between male and female and so forth.
Okay.
So
yeah, it does. It might not have everything, but what you could do is you can ask it questions about anything you want. Like one of the things that I like to ask it is, what's the most profitable segment of this market? Like go in there and say, what's the largest profitable segment in real estate investing? And it would tell you. And then at that point, you say, who are the most likely individuals to want to purchase coaching for this? And you get really detailed in your questions. And if it doesn't know the answer, that's okay. Just keep probing it. Just keep asking it more and more questions. Because it has a treasure trove of knowledge.
yeah, it does actually. Thank you. That helps a lot. And last question, if I may. You mentioned Kartra, and I have personally used GetResponse, and I came on getresponse.com, but I came across this platform that's called Clixlo. Are you familiar with it at all?
I've heard of it. I haven't used it myself. There's a bunch of different products on the market. Get Response, I'm fairly familiar with. It's mostly an auto response. I think they've probably built a lot of stuff in around it, but it's not anywhere close to the full automation of Kartra.
I am realizing that, because not only that, it does not do, if you do on a computer screen website, it does not convert it to a mobile
Yeah,
device very well, and that just messed me up.
Yeah, Kartra does that pretty well, and also Beaver Builder does that pretty well in WordPress too. It takes
Which one?
The Beaver Builder in WordPress.
Oh, okay.
So if you've got a WordPress site, there's a plugin that you can add called Beaver Builder that turns it into a drag and drop type of design program, which is really cool. A lot of
Thank you
people
so much.
like that. All right, Joseph, thank you for waiting.
Oh, no problem, man. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Mr. John, for opening up this up and having us.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. I've joined your website. I've joined your group last week, and I'm already excited about it. Thank you for you all taking the time to impart the knowledge and wisdom that you have. Okay. My question is simple. I have an e-commerce website for a single food product, and I use web.com. I have web.com. It's a few months old, so I wanted to know if that is interchangeable or with Kartra as well.
Okay. Is it just, you said it's a single product?
Yep, one single food product that I want. That the goal is to take it national, starting with my, you start from the inside out,
Sure.
from my home base state of Maryland. But the goal is to take it, national via e-commerce, and I want to streamline it as much as possible. Like I said, it's through web.com, the GoDaddy thing and everything. But we do already have existing orders and recurring orders on a small scale. The object is to take it, large scale enough to take it to a co-packer, sell a recipe for residual income, and keep it moving. So just when I came on, you were talking about Kartra. So I wanted to know if Kartra is integratable with web.com, and what other advice you have for me.
Okay, sure. I'm not totally familiar with web.com or what products and services that they're offering.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as Kartra, one of its kind of limitations, or we've worked around it in many cases, but it's not really built to be a real robust e-commerce platform.
Okay.
It has some shortcomings in that particular arena.
Okay.
So if you're just doing a one product thing, it would work perfectly. There would be no problem with that. But what it doesn't have that is specific to the e-commerce functionality, it doesn't have like the running shopping cart bucket where you can like keep adding things to the cart. It's mostly meant for marketing and front end sales and upsells and all that kind of stuff. It's not really meant to build a shopping cart scenario like e-commerce is. Most of the people I know that are in that arena, they're either using WooCommerce, which you can integrate WooCommerce with Kartra.
You say it's WooCommerce you call it?
WooCommerce, that's a WordPress plugin. It can get a little complicated depending on what features you add into it over time because of the plugins involved and compatibilities and all that kind of stuff.
I mean, I just look at if you just post like little short videos of us selling a product or making a product, put that on there. And just obviously just get people to order it, ship it to them, keep it moving. That's simple.
If that's all you're doing, Kartra is perfect.
Okay.
Kartra is absolutely perfect for that. And it'll do upsells and downsells and all that kind of stuff. It's just for anybody else, if you're really looking for a true commerce platform, I would probably either say go with WooCommerce or Shopify. Shopify is kind of like a Kartra for e-commerce. They have a thing where it builds your whole website and shopping cart and the whole bit.
Okay, now if I have that already in the website that I have, as far as the shopping cart, people do order, via the shopping cart. What would you suggest?
What are you paying on web.com for that?
I think it's like $500 a year,
Okay,
and,
that's reasonable.
mhm, mhm.
Because with Kartra, the low end minimum Kartra package is going to run you $99 a month.
Right.
So you'd
That's
be about $1,200 a year.
right.
Which for what it does, it's absolutely phenomenal.
Right. Understood. Okay, cool. Okay, cool beans.
All right.
Mhm.
All right, Mr. Rashid. Go ahead and unmute. There you go.
Johnny said that if you imported a bulk email that's not your own, you'll get in trouble with Kartra.
Yes, even if it is your own. Like,
Okay.
let's say you've built a mailing list over years and you haven't kept it up to date or something. And if you're used to communicating with it on a very regular basis and it's a clean list, then, I still wouldn't do it myself. I wouldn't do it at all. But that would be the only situation where you might want to try it. But the thing is, once Kartra bans your Kartra mail, that's it. There's no going back.
Right. What about importing an existing list into Kartra?
You can import it, and then you just connect the SendGrid mail system and send it using SendGrid, not the Kartra mail.
Okay. So
that's a way to do it.
SendGrid is a plugin or
Yes.
Kartra? Okay.
Yeah, like inside your Kartra, you know where the integrations tab is, where you set up your square and all that.
Yes.
It's under the integrations. There's one for email, and there's probably about 5 or 6 different email providers that you could select. And I use SendGrid for mine.
Is there additional cost for that?
Yeah, SendGrid, I think it's about $10 a month for the level that I use.
Okay. So yeah, the reason I'm asking is because I'm starting to work with a client who wants me to do the import her list and start building a market a membership site for her so she can provide her services and repurpose her existing content.
Before, like you can import the list. There's no problem at all importing the list. The problem is in the quality of the list. You want to make sure that you have it cleaned. There's services that are, they call it email cleaning services, where you can run it through their system. They will clean your list, take out all the undeliverables. They'll take out all the ones that are flagged as spam complainers, all that stuff. They'll get those out of your database.
And Kartra has that email cleaner, you said?
No, you do that first.
Okay.
You do that. That would be a different service. You do that first. Then you import a clean list into Kartra. And I would be really hesitant to send to any list that you imported using the Kartra mail. You want to protect that one.
Okay.
Use that one only for communications inside Kartra. Once they respond, yeah, by all means, put them on a different list or a different tag and communicate with the Kartra mail.
Okay. So import this is her personal email list from her clients, but she hasn't been in touch with them for a while.
Yeah, that's not a clean list.
Okay. So we need to clean it first, then import it, and then use SendGrid to start communicating with them.
Yeah, that's exactly how I would do it. I would warm that list up. Like when you're communicating with the list, you can have them opt in for stuff. You can have them go to pages and watch videos. And based on those actions, you can tag those people as being warm prospects. And now you can use Kartra mail to communicate with them.
Okay. And you can set these people up on an autoresponder if you needed to. Once,
Yeah.
once they, are interested in getting it. Because what this lady has is over 200 recipes, healthy recipes. That
Okay.
these people are watching her on YouTube, Facebook, going crazy. We want recipes. So she does she'll actually prep the food on Facebook Live, and she's been doing this for 5-6 years, and she got tons of those Facebook recordings.
Yeah.
Is there a way to import those onto Kartra and store someplace, or would she have to put it on her website outside Kartra?
Well, once you get the email list, you could have it, you just send it out to have it cleaned, and then you can import that list into Kartra.
No, I mean the videos that she has.
Oh,
the Facebook Live videos, they're on Facebook, but she can download it.
If you can download it, you can upload it into Kartra, absolutely.
And where would you put it when you upload it in Kartra?
There's a section in there on the left side called videos, just like images. Okay. So you have a video library, and then once that video is uploaded into your Kartra library, it's an asset now that could be used anywhere in a Kartra page or on any Kartra asset. You can use that video.
Okay. All right, that answers most of my question on that part of it. And I sent you an email about the challenges I'm having. We'll talk later about that.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Mr. Randy Powell.
Hey, how you doing, John? How's everybody doing?
Awesome.
I don't know. Gosh, great conversation, great questions, all that good stuff. I came in about 8 minutes late, and you guys were talking about Kartra, which is right down my alley today. But here's the thing about Kartra, which I'm curious, John. Do we have to do this some other time? Obviously I have my WordPress site because you did that for me. You upgraded that for me. And yes, I can move things around with Beaver Builder, which is awesome. But here's the challenge I have. I created a landing page in Kartra. It's about 90% done in my mind, but it can always be improved, I'm sure. But I haven't gone live with it in any sense. But it kind of incorporates a lot of what I would like to do and add into my website. And you were talking about integrating Kartra over into your main your main website. But the look is my concern is the look is going to be different because it was built in Kartra. So is there a way to solve that, or do I just have to have it as a page on the main site and leave it at that?
Well, there's a lot of different ways that you can do it. If you can build almost any page you want in WordPress, right? Mm-hmm. And then if there's Kartra components, it's easier to pull the Kartra components into the WordPress page itself. Like, let's say you want an opt-in box. You can build that in Kartra and then just pull that right into your WordPress page. You can pull in a video, you can pull in a checkout box, you can pull in an order button, you can pull in a scheduling link. Any of that stuff, any of the stuff that is a Kartra asset, you can pull in and plug that right into a WordPress page. So that's one way. And then your website looks like, it's your website. It's just got all the integration of Kartra built right into it. The other way is you could build landing pages. Like, the difference between a web page on your website and a landing page, the only difference is you just remove all the navigation and you don't have links out to other places. You just have one action that you want them to take and you guide them to that action.
Right.
And then you can have maybe a back home button. Maybe your logo's at the top. When they click it, they go back to your regular website. And at that point, all you have to do is just make a Kartra page that your color scheme of your website, and everything should blend together pretty seamless.
Okay, so here's the challenge. On this, there's really two legs of business here. The website that you built is, the logo is RP, and obviously it's a speaker website with coaching as a side thing. And then my new brand, Envision Success, which is a whole different logo, a whole different color that we launched earlier this year. And that color has nothing to do with the main website under Randy Powell Speaks. So my challenge is the color thing, the landing page in Kartra, which is what I built the Envision Success page on. The color schemes are totally different for the two different brands.
Okay. Did you want to merge? Are you trying to bring the other brand into your existing Randy Powell website?
Well, remember you said it's always best to keep, and I don't know if it was you or Craig, always said it's best to have your main website and then branch off of that. I don't want to have two websites. Not I really don't. But so
you can have two completely different sections of your website. Like we just did this for Woody. Woody's got like 4 businesses that he wants to have all under one domain. So what we did on his homepage, there's 4 buttons there for the 4 different businesses. Like one of them is a coaching thing, one of them is his real estate business, one is a music thing. They're somewhat unrelated, but they're all under his brand. They're all Woody Blackman, it's all his stuff.
Right.
So when you hit his website now, you click on the real estate section and you go to that section and it has its own look and feel. When you go to the music section, it has its own look and feel. You can have totally different color schemes, different logos and all that. And then at the top in your navigation, you have all the navigation to that section of the site, and then a return home button, which would take you back to home, and they could select a different site to go to.
Okay,
So
that sounds more like what I probably should want to do later this year, or I say year, but as things move on, because I really want to pump up the Envision Success brand, and all of my live events are under Envision Success.
Okay.
So and then the speaking is under Randy Powell Speaks, so I want to separate them, but I don't want to have another website, like I said.
Sure. Yeah.
And I want to keep the color scheme of Envision Success. I don't want to, it's too awesome. I feel like it is.
Yeah, no, there's no problem with having multiple color schemes to different sections of your business. There's not a problem with that at all.
All right, so I'll have to get with you on later on getting that done. Awesome.
Sure.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. Okay, Allie. I don't know if Allie's with us or not. All right, let's skip to Natalie. We'll come back to Allie. You got to unmute.
Hi.
Natalie.
How are you?
Good.
Good. I was just trying something. So I've been using the GPT chat, and it's just amazing. But what I'm having a hard time with is when I get it and tweak it to say exactly what I want, when I copy and I paste it into a document to like print it, it has that gray background. It doesn't look like I just typed it on a document.
Okay.
How do I get rid of that gray background on that so that I can actually copy and paste and use it?
Gotcha. Okay. So, and you want it in a Word document, right?
Well, yeah, in a Word. I mean, depending on where I'm using it. Some of it I've been doing invitations, and I've been doing, so I'm copying and pasting it into, like a postcard and different things.
Yeah. So here's something. This is an inherent problem with all Microsoft products. Yeah. Microsoft is a very sophisticated programming language. So when you're using Word for Windows or basically any of their platform, it has, when you copy, it will copy formatting that you don't see. and it will
Okay.
import that into your Word document, which is where your gray background's coming from.
Okay.
So what you can do, you can put one step in the middle if you want to strip all that out. And anybody that does any kind of programming language, they know to do this, because if you try and take something in or out of Word that has to do with programming language, it's going to change characters behind the scenes and it'll just wreak havoc.
Okay.
So what you do in the middle is there's a program out there called TextPad. It's a free program that you can download. Just go to Google and put in TextPad.
Okay.
TextPad. And download that. It's just a simple text box, just for text editing. It's not
Okay.
fancy. There's not a lot of formatting like Word. It's just a text editor.
Okay.
It will strip all of that stuff out. So you can copy out a ChatGPT, paste it in there, and then when you copy it from there into Word, all the formatting is out.
Oh, awesome.
And then you can reformat in Word, using Word to reformat it and get it to look like however you want.
Okay. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, you can do that any way, in or out. If you ever want to remove formatting and strip it down to its bare bones, use TextPad.
Okay. All right, great. That's all I had to ask.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Thank you.
that TextPad program has been saving my bacon for over 2 decades.
Well, you just saved mine, John. And other people's, I'm sure.
Awesome. Cool.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Allie, are you back yet? If not, we'll move back on to Daryl. Okay, Daryl, go ahead, unmute.
Oh, he's not there.
Daryl's not there either.
Not there either. Joseph, did we get you? You got your hand up still. You're all good? Okay, cool.
Yeah, you got me. You got me.
Okay, awesome. Just want to make sure we don't leave anybody hanging here.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Well, if Allie or Daryl are there, you can go ahead and unmute. If not, looks like Woody's got his hand up. Woody, talk to us.
Hello, millionaire winners, all my friends. Hope you're doing well. If you want to, everyone wants to build a great website. I know there was someone in our class that had an Amazon link on a shopping cart, and I just think it would be great fun if you have a website for products that I like, that I'd love to sell. I mean, is it profitable, and can you do it? I mean,
Yeah.
we will sell personality training as well as playing real estate from him.
So what you're really talking about there is affiliate links. So Amazon has an affiliate program that you can join, and then basically anybody that buys anything off Amazon, you could get a commission from that purchase. There's a ton of different affiliate programs out there outside Amazon as well. The thing with Amazon, they don't pay much. Their commissions are very, very thin. So you could wind up selling a ton of product through Amazon before you made, much money. When you get into like marketers, if you're selling marketers products, digital products, a lot of those guys are paying, 20, 30, 40. I pay 50% on mine on the front ends. So but there's a ton of affiliate programs. Anything that you can find that has an affiliate program to it that would benefit your audience that doesn't compete with you, I think is a good idea. Make sure though that when you put it up, you don't put all these affiliate offers on your site before you get them to take the action you want them to take first. Like for instance, let's say I know you're in the real estate industry, but let's say I'll use health as an example. if you had health products and you had real estate products, let's say you had real estate training programs that you wanted to sell, and you had health products that you wanted to promote.
That's right, baby.
I would make them opt in to a free giveaway that had to do with like a health questionnaire. Hey, you know, find out what your odds are living to be 100. You know, do some kind of a teaser to get them to sign up for something. Have them take the test, and then, you know, give them a thank you page that says, based on your test results, we got some great products for you, and then send them across, because now they're in your database. You know, they want health stuff. Instead of just having them go to your site, they click the link and they're gone, and they're someone else's customer, and you don't even know who they were. You just maybe get a few pennies later on from Amazon from it. You want them on your database, so later on when you have new health products, now you can communicate that out to your list, and you can make money at the click of a button instead of waiting for people to come to your site. So, but great
Is
idea.
anyone else in this group making money with shopping carts of other products? I was thinking of selling guns to the Indians and whiskey. I don't know.
Oh, I know there's several people in here making affiliate money for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, Jen.
But that's all individual people referrals, right? I'm talking
Yes.
about products. I mean, having 100 products that, I don't know.
There was, I forget his name, but there was a guy in Craig's group that was an Amazon affiliate, and he was going whole hog into it, and he found out I was right. They didn't pay much, so he was spending a lot of time and effort to get a little bit of money. And he moved out of, well, he still did the Amazon products, but he also went out onto ClickBank. And ClickBank is like it's like a whole marketplace for affiliate products for sale. And you can go in there and you can sort them by the ones that pay the most, the ones that convert the most, and you can find some really killer offers in there to promote. That's called clickbank.com. So that's a good source.
Bank, BANK.
Yep, ClickBank. That's correct. Another one that's a big marketplace for affiliate products is called JV Zoo. So JV, like joint venture, zoo.com. And between those two, there's probably 10,000 different things that are high margin profit, highly convertible that you can sell. They've done all the marketing for you. You don't even have to learn marketing. They've got the landing pages, they've got the big ideas, they've got the ad text. All you do is just promote stuff that they've already built that they know converts. You can also learn a lot from that too. You know, in the analysis piece of ACT, we talk about competitive analysis. That's one of the places you should go and see if there's a competitor selling stuff that's similar to yours, because if they're in there, I can guarantee you they know how to convert. They don't get offers put in there. They have to go through a vetting process to get in those clearinghouses. So if they're in there and you look at their funnel, you have a pretty good idea. This is some solid stuff to start with. If you want to clone a campaign, clone a winner. Like Katie, I know there's stuff in there for your type of industry. There's products in there, you know, for martial arts and all of that stuff. So you could go in there and find one, opt in, see how they market to you, and just copy that stuff right on down and throw it into your own campaign.
I mean, does that inspire anyone else? I mean, that sounds like easy money.
Yeah. I mean, that's one thing. If you're just getting into business and you're overwhelmed and you don't know what to do, yet you're involved in a particular industry. Like, let's say you've chosen, hey, I want to do health, or I want to do fitness, or I want to do real estate. You've kind of picking the angle that you want to go at, but you don't really know much of anything else. You could say, hey, let me start out as an affiliate. Let me start out riding the coattails of people that have already figured this out, and I'll learn from them along the way. I'll build myself a mailing list as I put my own business together. So that's a way that you could make money and earn while you learn. So it's a great idea.
I mean, I would just think that anyone in our business would every now and then get idea, oh, I should sell that. I talk about it all the time. I should, it's a natural for us. It's just an extension of courses or services. It's products.
Yeah. Yep. All right, let's go to Gary. Gary, you got your hand up. There you go.
I just wanted to say thank you for the input on ChatGPT. I recently used it to create a bio that somebody wanted very quickly. And I'm one of those people that I don't like to pat myself on the back or I don't know. I just don't like writing it. I don't like the spotlight. You know what I mean? And
yeah, absolutely.
ChatGPT did an excellent job. And just now you shared with me how to get rid of that background, because I ended up retyping it in Word because I did have the background.
Yeah.
And that was fine, but that was time consuming. So thanks for that tip today.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, was that it, Gary?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay.
I got on late today. I'll look forward to the recording.
Okay, cool.
So I get the whole session. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Katie, you're up.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good. Learning. How do I fix my video indexing for Google from my website? I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay, so are you talking about like optimizing a video to rank?
I guess I just and I wasn't done, and I don't know how it seems like it's still there. So when I redid my website, I added videos, and then I got a Google alert that there was video indexing problems.
Okay. Video indexing. I'm not really sure exactly what they're talking about there, but here's the proper way to put up a YouTube video if you want it to get indexed and ranked in Google. You start with the file name, like the actual name of the .mp4 file.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that it doesn't have any spaces or funky characters, because that can cause an indexing error. So make sure that if you're going to separate the words, separate them with a dash. Google understands dashes, but none of the other characters will fly. So use keywords for what the video is important to, what you want to rank for in the name of the video file. Don't make it like too long. Make it, as short as possible. And when I say not too long, like, maybe 30 or 40 characters if you can. Don't go crazy. Don't put a paragraph down. So that's step number one, is naming the video file properly. Now, when you upload the video file, it's going to take the name of the file and it's going to put that in as your default title when you upload it. This is your opportunity to enhance that. The title you can make a little longer than you made the original video file name. So you can put more keywords in there. You can make it more descriptive. You can make it a little more compelling. Like you might put in the date. I know one thing that will get clicks is having a date in there so they can see that it's fresh. I don't know that I would necessarily put the actual date, but I might put the year. Like, you could say the new martial arts technique just released, summer 2023. 20, I guess we're not to the summer 2023 yet, but you could say for the summer 2023. That way, when they're looking through and they're trying to figure out what are they going to click on to watch, they'll see that one and it will be more relevant than the ones without a date. because they're
Sure.
on their mind, they're thinking, oh, that's probably old. This one I know is new. Boom, click it. So that's there. And then the next thing in your description, the description, there's a trick in the description of YouTube. If you put the full URL of your website, it will become clickable. It has to be the first thing in the description. So your description literally starts off with HTTPS and then the whole thing. If you put it in the first position, become clickable. I don't know if they've changed that, in recent years, but at some point you could put it in the description. It wouldn't be clickable unless it was in the first spot. So they might have changed that, but that's something I always do. I always put the URL of the website that has. Okay, so that basically you want to link that to the website that has relevant information according to that page. And then your description. Now here's your place where you can put all of your content. The more content you put in here, the more relevant it becomes, especially to the keywords in the content. So that's another trick there. The other thing, as you go through, there's like 3 pages of information now when you upload a YouTube video to fill out. The more you fill out, the more relevant it becomes. So you can put tags to it, put tags with keywords that are relevant. And if you do all that stuff like that, I don't think you should have any indexing issues.
And I think too, because I just started back again with that, the Vimeo videos. And
Okay.
I think because I was downloading videos off of Facebook and then uploading them to that site. And so it had just like the number file, like the MP4 file name. And so I hadn't changed that. So now when you say that about the file name, I think that's why, because I uploaded them to my website without changing the file name on them. So
okay. Yeah, that's definitely a possibility for sure. The other thing is you can't really change, like, let's say you download a video from Venmo. If it's not in an MP4 format, you can't just all of a sudden call it an MP4 file.
No, and they downloaded an MP4 when I converted them.
Okay.
So that was good, but like I just didn't have a file name for it. It came up with like the generic number name or whatever, however they download it when I.
Okay, yeah, and it might have had a funky character in it.
Sure, I'm guaranteed it did.
Okay, yeah, then that's more than likely your problem.
Okay,
But
so if I change all.
If you follow that recipe that I just gave you, all your videos will be highly optimized and more people will find them.
Okay, yep. And then I saw too, like on that Vimeo, that I started going through doing all that too. Like it had a spot to optimize for SEO right through that platform and add my keywords and tags and all that jazz. So I did that. So I just, okay. That helps.
Right, cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Amid, you're back.
Yes, I am. And thank you, Katie, for bringing that video question that triggered a question that I had, and I'm not sure what the right place. That was called a preamble. So what is the best tool to edit videotapes or videos that I made over the years? I have not published a lot of them, and I thought they will be advantageous to my clients. So how do I do that? Plus, to be able to put an intro and those kind of things.
You're gonna love this answer.
Okay.
The best video editing software is going to be the one that's easiest for you to use.
Thanks a lot.
That is the best answer I could possibly give you. There's so many different video editing software. I personally myself, I use Camtasia. It's probably not by any stretch of the imagination the best, but it's easy for me to use and I can knock out what I need to do in a flash. So that one for me is the best. A lot of people use Canva. Canva has video editing capabilities. If they're familiar with the Canva platform, that might be the easiest one to use.
YouTube has it too, John.
Yeah, YouTube. So what?
YouTube has it too.
Yeah, so whatever you're familiar with, if you're not familiar with them, you might go on to YouTube and look at reviews. Look at and say you're a beginner, say beginner video editing software reviews, and just take a look at them and see what looks good to you. Because if you can't do it, I don't care how good the program is, that's not going to be a good program for you. There's a lot of really advanced video editing software out there that would take years for you to learn. And yeah, it'll do everything under the sun, but it doesn't mean it's the best one for you. So.
Okay.
Told you you're going to love that answer.
I know. Thanks.
All right, Daryl, are you back? You got to unmute.
Yes,
There
can you
are.
hear me?
We lost.
Okay.
Yep. Good.
Yeah, sorry. My apologies. When you called me out the first time, I don't know, it kicked me out. I must be in a bad area, have a bad connection.
No worries.
Two questions. The first one is that the comments that are made during these weekly meetings, are they available anywhere? Because I know they're not available like on the YouTube when you do the replay.
Correct. Yes. So there is a way, and Tim can probably help us out with this one if he's still here. There's a way that you can save the chat from this session before we close the session out.
And
Okay.
John, if you guys look in the chat, all right, you open the chat, at the very bottom of it, there is looks like a format tool, a screenshot, you know what I mean? And there's this a round emoji, and then next to it is 3 dots. Click those 3 dots, and the thing below it should come up to say save chat.
All I see is copy and quote.
Yeah, I don't have that.
Yeah,
either.
unfortunately, the problem is we can't do a screen share to show you because it takes
Oh, I see.
screen share.
I see it. It's on the bottom of the chat window. Okay.
Yeah.
It does not show up on a mobile Zoom application.
Yeah, it won't work on mobile. You have to have it on a desktop. Or
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem then. Okay, but I guess I can always just screenshot it once I'm there.
Yeah, that's a wise way to do it, Daryl, is a screenshot. I mean, especially if it's a conversation you see going with something you want, I always pull a screenshot and save it. That's the smartest way, I think, John. Right.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, thank you for that.
All right.
Then my other question, John, is going through, your competitor analysis. You basically mentioned the 3 main websites that you use: the SEMrush, the similarweb.com, and then your spy dominator. Do you feel as though like the SimilarWeb, all the free tools is pretty much all that we need, or do we need to subscribe and kind of get one of their plans?
A lot of times, if you're just doing this for yourself, they'll give you like free trials for a certain amount of days, and you can get a certain amount of usage out of it. You can probably just get what you need with the free tools.
Okay.
If you need to go more, if you're doing it for clients and stuff like that, then you probably would want to upgrade to the paid stuff.
Okay, and the same thing with the SEMrush. You feel as though like the free trial would be just enough time to do what you need to do? Yeah,
it should be. Just make sure like when you sign up for it that you're like ready to go.
You're ready to go. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Don't sign up for it and then, dilly-dally around for 2 weeks and then come back and your free trial's over.
Right, exactly. Now, your spy dominator, I mean, does that seems as though it's very kind of close to the whole SEMrush. Is that kind of on the same lines? I mean, would it pretty much give you the same data and information?
Yeah, a lot of the info is the same. There's one called I think it's called SpyFu. SpyFu is a different one. What that does, that's more of a paid program. I don't know if they have a free version or not, but SpyFu, it will give you the analysis on the ads that everyone is running. So that's really good information to find out what ads are being run and how long the ad's been run. If an ad's been running for a long time, you know it's probably working. If it's run for like 3 days and then that's it, you know that probably bombed. So that's really good insight to see what worked and what didn't work.
Okay. Okay. Very good.
So that's a cool thing. And even like if you had to buy the tools, you know, you only need to buy the tool for a month or so to do what you need to do. It's not
Right,
a tool
exactly.
like that you need long term unless you're doing client work.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah. If you're doing client work, then the clients are paying you for it, so it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Right. Exactly. Okay. Yeah, I just wasn't sure if like all three of them, you know, were all different information, or you're going to kind of get in, you know, the same information from all three of them, or if you needed all three of them, or what.
Yeah, SimilarWeb gives you a lot of different information. It will tell you where traffic is coming from and where it's going to, which I really like that about SimilarWeb. What I really like about SEMrush is the keyword research. What I really like about SpyFu is it'll give you the ad research. So there's, you know, there's different stuff with all of them. You don't necessarily need all of them to determine, you know, what you need to determine. If you know a lot about your industry already, a lot of the stuff is going to be already in your head. It's going to be common sense to you, that kind of thing. When you're building the avatar, I see a lot of people get so caught up in having to figure out exactly who this person is and all the details of their life and all that stuff. And you know, it's fun to do that, but it's not 100% necessary. The most important thing for you to figure out with your avatar, when you're creating your avatar profile, all that stuff could make a difference at some point. But the most important thing is, what do they really want and why do they want it? And how are they feeling about it? It's like you need to figure out, I need to walk a mile in this person's shoes so I know what they're up against. I know their hurdles, their challenges. All the other stuff will help you in communication, like the stuff of if you know if they're educated or not educated. That'll tell you what level your speech pattern needs to be. If they come from a different part of the country, they might use different slang. That will help you connect with them. So that's the kind of stuff and why that stuff is important. Anything that you can do to identify who you're talking to and make yourself so you mirror them. You want to be more like them than not.
Right.
The closer you can get, the more they see you as being in the mirror. When they look in the mirror, the better off you'll convert.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
Because
Okay.
they're comfortable. The more you're like them, the more comfortable they are with you. It builds instant trust and rapport.
Right. Okay. All right. Perfect. Thank you very much.
All right, cool. All right, back to Natalie.
All right, John. So real quick, I wanted to make sure because you said it was text, TEXT pad.
Yes.
It does not come up on the apps. They don't have, it's not coming up.
Okay, it's not an app. This is a Windows program.
Oh, it's a Windows program.
Windows
And
program.
And I figured out if you do the AI or you do the chat on your phone, even though you have an account on your computer, what you do on your phone will not be on the computer.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. It must be cooking.
Yeah. So then I have to retype the question in and hope to get the same, the same response.
It is on mine and I use Chrome. So
I use Chrome. And I did
if
it on my phone, and when I logged into the computer and went on the chat, it wasn't there.
Okay, so when you log into the computer, bookmark a page on Chrome and then open
Okay.
that page. And it'll bring
Oh.
all of your history with
My
it.
credit card's down.
No.
Oh, okay.
And on
All
your
right,
phone, go to the website mode and then bookmark it. And then when you open the Chat GPT on your computer,
okay.
open that bookmark.
And it
and
should sync it.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, beautiful. And just one other comment for the chat. If you are on a computer and you highlight the whole chat, if you highlight the whole thing, copy, paste it into an email, all the links are live. That anybody
Okay.
puts in the chat, the links are live if you do it that way.
Yes,
Just so you know.
that's the formatting. So
Yep.
it's taking the format with the copy.
Yep, yep. And then you have all the live links and you don't have to copy and paste into browsers, so.
Yep, yep. That's
Okay.
one of the things, that's one of the problems with putting it into TextPad. It's going to strip all that formatting out.
Yep, yep, it does. Yeah, all right, thank you. That was it.
Sure. All right. Allie, are you back with us yet? Or
Yeah, sorry, I've been
There you are.
listening in the background, and thank you for everything. I'm kind of double dutying, double tagging. Anyway, John, I wanted to know, I'm pretty much, you've spoken with me and Wendy, and we want to build a landing page, and I just want to know, we're getting down to just boiled nutshell. We want to do it with you, and what do we need to like, you know how it, like, what do we need to support a landing page, John? Like, we have nothing. So do we buy a website theme, or do you already have that? Do you know what I mean?
do you want just a landing page or a website?
Well, that's the next thing I was going to ask you, because right now we were just trying to create some place where people could come, fill out a form, and then of course they get a thank you. And we're trying to generate like a viable active list of people that want what we're going to be offering. And
Okay.
so I didn't know what to do, John. Should we just do a landing page with like 2 avatar buttons and a thank you page, and then they fill out the form, or is that already a website? Like, I don't know the difference, John.
Sure, sure. Well, honestly, it sounds like you're just trying to create a lead capture page to
Yeah,
get started.
yeah.
And if you're up to it, if you're like ready to go, Kartra would probably be your best bet, because you can create a Kartra page that'll do exactly what you want. It'll build the landing page, no problem. It's not the best for whole websites, but for where
Right.
you are, you could start there. You could start with that, put up your Kartra landing page, start collecting your leads. The leads are going right into Kartra where you're going to want them in the future. And it could do
But-
all the autoresponder sequences for you, all the communication.
Right.
that
Yeah.
could
Johnny, that's
give you-
a future, that's the go-to, that's the bigger plan. But right
Okay.
now we're starting on, like we're basically trying to build up customers so that we have enough money to pay for Kartra. So
Okay.
that was where, so
Yeah.
that's where I'm at,
So-
like with the balancing act of the budget and finances. And then hopefully,
Yeah.
like I told Wendy, I would love to use Kartra, but we don't have anybody yet, but it's a good idea. And it's something people are going to want and be interested in.
Yeah, you could look into, I don't know the exact answer if this is true or not, but I think it is. If you go to like Aweber or GetResponse or MailChimp, those are programs that'll build an email database for you and allow you to communicate with them. And I think they have page builders. I don't know for sure, but I bet you at least one of them does. So Aweber, GetResponse, or MailChimp.
Well, it's
Well,
optimized
I've
price
heard
point.
MailChimp is horrible. This morning I was doing research, and you know, I don't know, somebody else on the call, you mentioned there were a lot of other options. Somebody mentioned something called CLIXO. I don't know if that's the same thing, but I found this thing called Simvilo or something like that. I have to go to my computer. I'm sorry, I'm on my phone because I'm answering other phones.
Yeah.
So
Well, the short of it, there's a ton of stuff out there. If you're just looking to kind of bootstrap for the beginning, you know, just find something that's either free or within your price range that will do what you want to do, and just, you know, get started that way.
right. I just don't know. I said to Wendy, we looked at this thing called Simvoli, I think it is. And I was like, God, I wish I was John. Because I looked at it and I just didn't know. Bye, Randy. I didn't know if you know, when you read all their stuff, John, you would know, oh, this is no good, because it mentioned, I went down deep into their, you know, who are we, what are we about? And it said they're using Amazon servers and you can't host your own site. So that was red flags for me, and I didn't know.
Yeah, well,
You know,
look at whatever it is that you're doing now as just a temporary stepping stone. So
yeah.
you know, just do whatever you have to do to get through that phase, and then you can get up and running and, you know.
But if we did, if let's just say Wendy and I, we wanted to work with you and we developed the lead capture page or something, or the landing page with a back thing of, once they sign that form, they get a thank you, and it is attached to a scheduler, you know, where they could say, make an appointment with me or Wendy. And is that something we could do with you? And then, like, what would we need? Like, I don't know what, I don't really know how to get it done.
Well,
And
you need the back end of it. Like, if you were to do it with me, I would do it in Kartra. It would
Okay.
cost you more to do it with me, to figure out some program I'm not familiar with,
Right.
that may or may not save you something, you know, if you strap it out 2 years. I don't know if that would actually wind up saving you any money or not.
Yeah, I gotcha.
John, Tim here. Would you mind if I stepped in a second on that one?
Sure, go for it.
Allie, if you want, I've got some connections that I can help build you something to get you over until you can afford John. All right.
Okay.
Reach out to me and we'll do it. All right. You know, I've known you, Rich, a long time, so I'll be able to plug you in and maybe help you out. And then wait, John, I can get her up to where she gets to your level.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Tim. Thanks, John. That's all I got, John. Thank you. And thank you, Tim. I'll reach out to you.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, these guys
All
are great.
right. Well,
Just a
Sam,
note on Get Responses costs $65 a month, so it might not be worth your expense.
yeah, most
thanks.
of those programs, like what I was talking about before, before I got into Kartra, I was probably spending upwards of $800 on all the tools to do
Right.
the stuff I was doing.
Right.
Now
Yeah, like if I'm going to spend $63 a month, I'm just going to sign up with you, John, and go with Kartra.
yeah, you might as well. All right. Anybody else got anything before we close up for today? Another great call. You know, the calls, the quality of the calls is really based on you guys. So feel free to ask anything you want. And the whole overwhelm thing, don't be afraid. You know, it is an overwhelming thing. I can totally get that. So, but don't give up. Don't give up on me. I won't give up on you.
I have a quick question.
Okay, sure.
Can I have like 18 views on Google, right? But I want them on my website. Is there a way that I can convert them without asking them to go back on the website and do it individually again to put it on my website?
And this is 18 prospects have opted in. Is that what it is?
Yeah, they put their reviews in.
Okay, and
And
you
on
want
Google, I'm sorry, on Google.
Okay, I guess I'm not quite sure what what it is that they did on Google.
Well, they gave a review of my product, right?
Oh,
They gave me
gotcha.
5
Okay.
stars, right? Yeah.
Okay.
So
And
they
you want
gave
to
me
put the
reviews.
you want
I
to
want
put
to
the
put those
reviews up.
reviews on my
Okay.
website
Okay.
instead of bothering them again and be like, oh, could you just do another review and put it on my
Sure.
website, or is there a way I can just convert it?
Sure. All you have to do is pull it up to where you see it on your screen. And then you can do a screen capture where you're literally taking an image of the screen, and then you can crop everything else out except for their review. And now you have an image, and you can just put that image into your website. So you could put a header that says our reviews and then just paste those images in. That's an easy way to do it.
Oh, okay, like copy and paste, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
You could do that. There's some more difficult ways to do it. If you go in and you get the embed code, you could actually have the reviews display on your website in real time. So if a new one comes in, it will just automatically update and be available on your website.
I want to do it that way.
That's a little more complicated. You have to go in and you have to get the embed code from Google. And then what you do, you can go onto your website and you can paste that in as an HTML insert. And then that insert, that will display those reviews just like they are on Google.
Oh, okay, cool.
So
All right.
that's the better way to do it, just a little more complicated.
And Google would give it to you.
I want to do it the better way, because then I don't want to keep going back, copying and pasting. So when somebody else do the review, it'll just automatically go to my website.
Yeah. There's a lot of tools out there that are specifically made for reputation management to collect. They help you collect reviews, and some of them have those embed codes in them.
Yeah.
So no matter where somebody puts a review, whether it's on Facebook or Google or whatever, it'll pull them all into your website.
Oh, okay.
So
I'm gonna give you a project call and we can talk about that.
Okay, sounds good. All right, Linda.
All right.
Yeah, I asked Shopify if my website was ADA compliant, and so they said to get an app, and it's $25 a month. Do you think that's necessary?
It's a good thing to have. If you're not familiar with ADA, that's American Disabilities Act.
Mm-hmm.
And what's happening is a lot of websites, there's some attorneys out there that are what I would call unscrupulous.
Okay.
So what they're doing is they're going and they're filing frivolous lawsuits against small business owners that have websites for not being ADA compliant.
Okay.
So that is a pain in the butt, really. But the last thing you want is, to have some lawsuit come down the pipe, and now you've got to defend yourself because you weren't ADA compliant. And they did it a lot earlier on when the ADA came out. They became a big agency and they started advocating for the handicap. They started going into real businesses, and if you didn't have handicapped bathrooms, it was like a $10,000 fine.
Wow.
And they were making businesses comply and be handicap capable. And this is just an extension of that going on to websites, because we're business owners. If you have a business website, you're a business owner and you're expected to not discriminate. So you're expected to have handicap accessible stuff on your website. If you go to my website, theinternetdominators.com, you'll see in the top right corner, there's a little handicap button. That's the ADA compliance button. When you click on it, it will open up a set of tools Like if you're visually impaired, it will turn the text into audio for you. It does a bunch of different stuff. That is one of the services that we actually offer. We do it cheaper than what you got quoted. If you want, we can, we can generate the widget for you for less than that, far less.
Okay.
So
All
if
right.
you,
Is that on your website?
yes.
Okay, I'll look at that. And another question, they were saying that Google likes it if you're a trusted website. So there was an app that had Trustpilot, I think it was called, that verifies that you're a legitimate business or something and you're trustworthy or something. Is that something that you think should be done?
It's definitely true. Google favors trust, absolutely. They have their own ways of figuring out if you're trustworthy. So I don't think you really need Trustpilot for that. Not
Okay.
to say that it can't help, because Trustpilot is one of the ones I was referring to when I said there's a lot of programs out there for collecting reviews and doing reputation management and all of that. So there's definitely no harm in it, but don't think automatically that just because you buy that, that's going to give you better Google ranking.
Okay.
There's a lot of other factors to ranking in Google.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure. All right. Helene. Oh, you're muted.
I've been trying to log into your website as an ACT member, which I'm paying regularly, and I haven't been able to. And I'd like to know how I can get help, because I tried phoning, and I guess I must have phoned the wrong time, but I never got help. So how do I do
Well,
it?
you're actually you're an Alignable member in the Alignable group.
Yes.
So you have access to the group on Alignable.
Yeah.
And that's where all the ACT stuff is in there for you on Alignable.
Yes, but I want to get into your website as an ACT member, and I can't.
Okay, that's actually a different membership over there.
Oh,
it shares the same call, but it's a whole different platform.
so I should get out of the Alignable membership and go into your membership?
Well, it's pretty much the same stuff. All the ACT files and everything that is over there is available to you in the Alignable.
But I'd like your website. I don't need the ACT files. I've got them.
Okay, well that's really the stuff that is in there. We just took it out of there and then put it over on Alignable. So it's the same membership for you.
But I can't get into your website and get what you have to offer on your website.
Oh, you just mean my regular Internet Dominator website?
Yes.
Okay, that should be open to anybody. There's no.
Well, I can't sign in as an ACT member.
Okay, that's the whole rest of the website. That's the members area for the members that have signed up through there. So you signed up through Alignable, so your login is on Alignable. That's the only difference.
Okay.
But it's pretty much the same files in there as the same files you have access to on Alignable.
Including all the other stuff that you offer on your website?
Yes. Yeah, there's free stuff on the website, and there's services and all that kind of stuff, but you don't have to sign in to get any of that on my website.
Okay, I get the picture. Thank you.
So it's all openly available. The only stuff that's behind the curtain on my website is the actual ACT files. So people pay for that, they get access to it. And then those files we took and we put them on Alignable for the Alignable members that sign up over there.
Okay, thanks for clarifying this.
Yeah, but same stuff. You're not missing out on anything.
Okay.
And the call is shared no matter which membership you're in. It's the same call.
Thanks.
All right. All right, guys. Well, we will go ahead and wrap it up for today. Thank you all for coming and participating and making it another great Zoom meeting. So we'll be back on with you next week and talk to you soon. Have a great week and get out there and get your act together.